Yes, we have in this situation in Seneca County. First, I want to thank the first responders who are doing a great job. Tucker Snyder, who's the Assistant Fire Chief for Lodi. Senator Pam Helming is with us. Roger Perino, who's the State Commissioner. What we have in this situation in Lodi is about 50 people who stayed in place and now can't get out. If you go down this road a little bit, it's amazing the devastation. It's not just water. You have about a quarter of a mile of trees and debris, stumps. We need heavy machinery to move these trees and stumps, etc., so we can get to the people. The fire department went in earlier this morning. They are now trapped on the inside because the road became clogged once they entered. And when I say clogged, it's not just water. I'm talking about 4 or 5 feet of heavy trees, heavy brush, etc. So we're going to have a two-pronged attack. We have heavy equipment coming in, payloaders, excavators. They'll have quite a bit of time to clear the road. In the meantime, we have a high-axle vehicle ready that as soon as the road is clear from the trees and stumps, a high-axle vehicle can go across because there will still be water running across the roadway. There's about a foot, 2 feet of water running across the roadway, but a high-axle vehicle will be able to get people out that way. And we have boats that are going through the lake and taking people out that way and bringing them to the state park. We have more boats coming up, so we'll have about 10 boats shuttling people. We'll then have the heavy equipment that's clearing this road. Between those two avenues of attack, I feel confident that we'll be able to get people out of harm's way. More rain is expected. And the one point I want to make, and I want to make this point as serious as a heart attack, floods are nothing to play with. And I know everybody's instinct is we want to stay in our home. I don't want to leave. I know. I've been there. This is not my first rodeo. When you become trapped in a situation like this, it is then dangerous, and now you have a lot of first responders who have to respond and put their lives in danger to come help you. This is a very dangerous situation. I also want to say to local officials across the state, town supervisors, mayors, county executives, we know the ground is saturated. We know we have more flash floods coming. Some reports are up to 2 inches of rain per hour. We know the areas that tend to flood. We know the creeks that get blocked. We know the culverts that get blocked. Please let us know before the fact, not after. Let's clean the creeks that need to be cleaned. Let's clean the culverts. Let's clean the drainage system now. These are in the same place over and over. And I have the Department of Transportation, Department of Environmental Conservation. We will get the work done before the flood occurs. The best way to handle a problem is before it happens. Stop it from happening. Otherwise, you have a situation like this, which is really a dangerous situation where fire department went out. The fire department is now trapped. We have to get their equipment out, and we still have about 50 people. And more rain is on the way.
How long until they're out? Is anybody hurt out there?
No, not that we know of. There was one report of a minor injury. That woman has been picked up and taken to a state park.
How long until they get out? What's the time frame?
We have the boats are now shuttling people out. The fire department and the fire department's equipment can't get out until the road is cleared, and we'll get you pictures. But if you look at the road, it's no small task to clear that road. It is literally 4 or 5 feet high. I'm talking about large trees, large stumps. The water was very fast and brought hundreds and hundreds of pounds of debris and left it on the road.
This is a massive undertaking. There's another storm rolling in. Are you thinking 2 hours tops, 3 hours? And what are you guys hoping in terms of getting those folks out of there?
Between the boats that are on their way and will be shuttling people, I would say in the next couple of hours they will be removed. The civilians will be removed. It's going to be a number of hours to clear that road and get the fire department equipment out. The fire department individuals are not in any position of danger, but the equipment can't get out until we clear the road.
How difficult is it to get the emergency equipment removed from that area?
You have to clear this road, which is several hours of work. Again, it's 4 or 5 feet of large trees, 18, 20-inch diameter trees, large stumps. It's amazing the force of water, moved pieces of wood that are hundreds and hundreds of pounds. And then once that's done, you still have about 2 feet of water that's going over the road. So a heavy piece of equipment can make it, a high axle vehicle can make it, but any small piece of equipment would be washed off the road anyway. And we have more rain coming, so time is not on our side.
How about agencies from the area? I mean, it looks like there really are a tremendous amount of people who are participating in this effort.
We have, first, the local first responders are doing a great job. Then we're calling local surrounding jurisdictions for help, especially on boats to transport the people who are now stranded. The more boats we can get, the faster we get the people out.
Do you anticipate having more state workers here in terms of aid in assessing what these people will need in the coming days?
They're on their way. We have heavy equipment that is on its way. Should be here in about 40 minutes. We have additional boats that are coming that are now being launched as we speak at the state park. We have more Department of Transportation personnel coming to help clear the road, and more emergency management personnel.
One more guy.
How are those people doing out there? I mean, you know, have you seen them? I mean,
yes,
what are their thoughts? I mean,
you know, these are people who chose to stay. And we run into this situation over and over. You know, people like to stay in their homes. I understand that. But if you that is flood prone, that is flooded before, it's apparently safe, but it can be ultimately very dangerous to remain in your home. And then an emergency situation becomes created, like the situation we're in now, where the fire department went in to help. The fire department is now stranded themselves. We have to send people on boats going through debris, and there's a sea of debris that is floating out there in the lake. Propane tanks, sheds. I mean, it looks like a garbage heap floating in the water. The boats have to find their way through that. So now it's a very complicated, dangerous situation, frankly. And if you know that there is a chance that your home is in an area that floods, the safe choice is to leave and visit someone else, take a ride, but don't stay in your home if you know you're in an area that tends to flood. It only gets worse. The ground is saturated, more rain is coming, and it makes a bad situation worse. Let me ask Senator Pam Helming to make a few remarks. She's my colleague from Albany, and we're working together.
sure.
Senator Helming.
What I'd like to do is first really thank, as the governor did, our local first responders. They were out there this morning. They were rescuing people. They were letting people know who are still in their homes that it's time to get out. The governor pointed out how critical it is that people get out of their homes under conditions like this. Many of the people in this situation are visitors to our area, so we wanted to make sure that they know, too, it's a dangerous situation, get out. And although our local responders have done an incredible job, I really want to thank the governor for getting his team out here quickly and efficiently. We couldn't do this without the help of state of New York. This is a great example of all branches of government, local, county, and state, working together to take care of people, to get people out of harm's way. And again, I just want to thank the governor.
Thank you. The sheriff has now ordered an evacuation.
Okay.
So now those people are under an emergency order to evacuate, and again, we have the boats coming and the heavy equipment is on its way.
You have declared a state of emergency in this area?
Not the state. The sheriff has declared an emergency evacuation order. Okay? We have equipment coming, so maybe we could move.